One thing I do know is they love their peppers. Look at this. Bed after bed of just peppers. Guten gardening, everybody. It is a rainy day here in Lauterach, Austria. We just actually crossed the border last evening into Austria. It's our last stop before we head back to Germany, and we discovered a beautiful community garden, and I want to show you what it looks like. Now, from the signage, it looks like this garden was founded in 2015, and I'm going to translate these signs for you on the screen so you know exactly what it says. But this looks like a really cool space, and it also looks like in here is a space for children to learn about nature as well, nature and gardening. Now, this isn't the first community garden that we found. We found one in Allentown, Pennsylvania as well, but this is the first community garden we've seen in Europe. And I'm interested because I don't exactly know what grow zone this would be. I don't believe they have the same kinds of grow zones that we have in the US, but they do have beautiful pole beans climbing literally up some poles right here. And as I can tell, there are not beans on it yet, but you can see the flowers down here. There's some beans that are coming. This is so cool. Now, it's early morning. I don't really see anybody about. See the beautiful grapes? No grapes on there. I don't really see anybody about right now. I don't know if we'll get the chance to talk to anybody today. I kind of doubt it, again, because it's so rainy. The blackberries that are not quite ripe yet. So to me, it looks like they're a little bit behind in terms of the season. Cucumbers, you can see some little baby cucumbers right up here. You see the little baby cucumbers, but these don't look as good as some of the other plants here. They look like they're having some sort of difficulty with wilt or something like that. But the tomatoes are still green, like they're just starting to turn. So I don't know, maybe it's a similar kind of growing area, grow zone. I don't know how hot it's been here of late. I don't know how much rain has been here, but I do know that this is super cool getting back here. You know, one of the things that we're trying to do is explore as much as possible. See these peppers as we travel throughout the different countries here in Europe. And so this, you know, and finding gardens along the way, that's important too. Oh, some eggplant down in here. It is kind of hard to tell. You see the eggplant right there in the middle? It is kind of hard to tell where they are in the season. But again, some pieces of it, like this corn right here, look like it's not quite as far along as our season. And then you got some brassicas. These are Brussels sprouts right there. Yeah, so I think they're just a little bit behind where we are in terms of our growing season. The beds here appear to be similar, I think, to the Allentown community gardens, in that there's some pieces that are definitely permanent or more permanent, unlike what we have at our community garden. Oh, a little sunflower here. We did notice some sunflower gardens as we were coming in. Oh, that corn is ready. Oh, is this what I think? There we go. We got some huitlacoche. Well, it's already blown up, but this person has some huitlacoche in their corn. If you haven't seen our video on huitlacoche, you should definitely check that out. Ooh, interesting little setup. I can't get in too close to some of these. I don't know anybody here. I don't want to do anything that would get me in trouble. So we'll do our best to zoom in a little bit. You see the peppers growing up along those metallic spirals. There's an example of a metallic spiral. That's a simple way. You use that for beans or just about anything else. It'd be really easy to tie off to. And then just regular sticks for a lot of the other vertical supports. Yeah, these are just sticks for these beans to climb. A nice little setup there for the tomatoes as well. Oh, lots and lots of grapes. Lots of grapes back in here. I don't think that this is quite as big as the community garden in Allentown. It's definitely not as big as the one that we grow in as well. But this is also a smaller town, so it's not like this is a massive area. One thing I do know is they love their peppers. Look at this. Bed after bed of just peppers. Almost got bitten by a European mosquito just now. Oh, we got some mint growing down here. Looks like it's escaped. Well, it looks like it was just planted right in the ground. That's brave. That's brave. Some sort of squash right here. I don't see any female plants or female flowers on there rather, so I'm not sure exactly what kind of summer squash it is. Oh, it's peaceful back here. I mean, you can hear the occasional car go down the road. This road, by the way, is I guess you would call it a stereotypical European road. It is pretty narrow. This looks like an unused bed right here. Yeah, that's an unused bed. Well, there's plenty of mint to go around, that's for sure. Wow. But yeah, it's a pretty narrow road, and at times you have to yield to let people go by as you're going through, and we're in a little bit of a bigger van anyway, so we definitely have to yield. Man, these beans look amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think the rain is supposed to stop here in the next hour and a half, but we have to be out of the place where we're staying by 10, so I needed to get out here early in the morning to take advantage of the time I had. Once we saw this garden on the way in, we knew we had to stop by. You see that cucumber? They probably left it on there just to collect the seeds. And this must be the size, the typical size of one plot. It's actually pretty substantial in size. At this point, I really wish I could see somebody out here and just ask them the cost of something like this. But we talk a lot about taking advantage of different spaces and making sure that if you find a spot that can get you some additional gardening space for not a lot of money, take advantage of it. I'm just gonna cross this bridge real quick because, okay, I can't really get back in here. It's fenced off the whole way around. But these little places back in here look like the entrances to even more gardens. I'll lift you up real high in the rain here, but it looks to me like these are little allotments, but much more permanent, and it's all fenced around. Yeah, here's the other entrance I tried to find my way into and I couldn't. Doesn't this kind of look like really fancy? These are like mini houses here, but each of them seems to have some gardens, etc. But this is locked up tight, so I can't get in there. Oh, what I wouldn't give to explore. Hey, and look at the backdrop here, just the mountains in the backdrop. Oh, this is beautiful. Well, this rain is bound to help. Again, I'm not sure how rainy it's been, but we've had about 2 solid days now of rain. It's actually the only time in our trip of 12 or 13 days where we've seen rain, but I'm sure these plants appreciate it. Oh, look, this is the first one where I've actually seen some grapes in there, but it looks like the grapes have finished here. They've already done their thing, I think, for sure. Well, this person seems to have planted exactly 1 row of corn and 1 row of corn right there. That's it, 1 row, 1 really long row. I wonder how well it produced for him. There's a sunflower. As I mentioned, there were definitely sunflower fields out here. I don't know how they use the sunflowers. I'm not 100% sure, but this is so cool. Well, there you go. I mean, a nice little setup here. I'm sure people in town, there's no space, and we didn't see any space in this town, even though it's a small town, and so they're going to be able to come out here and take advantage. If you're in a small town, you don't have a lot of space, your patio's not enough for you, if you even have a patio, be on the lookout for this type of community garden. So again, whether you're in Europe, US, or wherever you are, there's maybe a possibility of extra growing space. Would you like that? I know I like that. That's a nice way to start out the morning. Finding a garden, exploring it, finding a community garden like this. We wanted to show you a bunch more gardens that we saw, but I gotta tell you, most of them we did in shorts form because we were trying to see so many places here. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube shorts, we're gonna have a whole bunch here. And we're gonna have a whole bunch from the different types of gardens and places that we found along the way. And since these are the only tomatoes that I see that are actually ripening up right now, I wanted to end with a shot of those. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to give us a like, leave us a comment, remember to share and subscribe, and most importantly, remember, when you're with us, you are good to grow.